There are normal kids, and then there are kids like this. From the fastest kid in the world to a 10-year-old who can lift more than most grown adults. These kids have more skills than any of us combined. Starting with Rudolph Ingram Jr. This kid's so fast on his feet, he's earning the blistering hot nickname Blaze. At just 10 years old, Blaze has already shattered sprinting records, smashing the 100 meters in a lightning-fast 13.48 seconds. It earned the tiny speed demon a permanent spot on his local football team, where he dominates kids much older than him. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, the little dude has a six-pack. And to a different type of football, another tiny tot tearing it up is none other than 7-year-old Arat Hosseini, aka Mini Messi. This Iranian prodigy is wowing his coaches and talent scouts with expert skill, slick moves, and dangerous finishes. The only problem is, after hours of highlight reels, I'm yet to see him pass the ball. I guess when you're that good, who needs teammates? Tug-of-war is one of the only sports most people could confidently beat a child in. Well, that's unless you're up against 10-year-old Bo Jensen from Kansas. This kid is literally the strongest kid in the world. He went to the US Powerlifting Championships and broke every record in his age group. And not satisfied with just being the best at everything, Bo topped it off by pulling 2 trucks unassisted. His father apparently saves a fortune not paying for roadside assistance. Speaking of kids that no one would ever dare to square up against, 10-year-old Evnika Saadvakas has some of the fastest punches in the world, beating out not just other kids, but fully grown boxers as well. She managed to clock out an incredible 300 punches in just 30 seconds. These fists of fury are no joke. Check out how she absolutely pulverizes this tree. Who needs a lumberjack when Evnika is around? This Japanese schoolboy has spent his entire life doing just 2 things: watching old Bruce Lee movies and training to be the next kung fu legend. At just 10 years old, he's nothing short of a miniature ninja. With lightning fast punches, skull-crushing roundhouse kicks, and the attitude to match, Ryusei is the undisputed king of the playground. His mastery of kung fu, karate, and his proficiency with a pair of nunchucks is enough to make anyone think twice about stealing this kid's lunch money. If you thought that was extreme, wait till you meet 8-year-old Julian Wojtyła. This miniature Pennsylvanian has been an extreme sports enthusiast from as early as he can remember. From snowboarding to skiing to BMX and mountain biking, if it gets the adrenaline pumping, Julian's there. He's most known for his high-octane mountain biking runs, getting big air and showing off for the cameras. The X Games needs a kids edition. If Dennis Rodman was 12 years old and played football, chances are he'd look a lot like Bunchy Young. The hypercolor halfling exploded onto the LA's football scene when he was just 9 years old, showcasing his unnatural speed and expert skill right off the bat. But it doesn't come easy. Bunchy has to train 5 to 6 times a week to maintain his freakish fitness. I'm lucky if I can just finish 10,000 steps before June. These Japanese gymnasts have mastered the impossible art of slacklining and making flipping on a tightrope look easy. Brothers Rikuto and Takushi Nakamura have been practicing on their backyard slackline for most of their life. There's no harness or safety nets, just a thin gym mat on the ground for when their latest maneuver doesn't go according to plan. At just 13 and 10 years old respectively, this slacklining duo have a very bright future ahead. Ever see those videos of skiers hurtling down impossibly steep mountain faces before slamming into a pile of powdered drift snow? They're probably adults with a lifetime of training and experience, right? Tell that to 14-year-old Kai Jones, who's been skiing the most dangerous runs available as soon as he could walk. From his signature double backflips to dropping off the 35-foot craggy mountain cliffs of Wyoming, Kai will attempt anything as long as it doesn't scare his mom too much. Okay, so let's steer away from kids that can put you in the hospital for just a moment. Back to a kid who's managed to turn his pastime into a payday. 14-year-old British pro scooter rider Charlie Dyson first rose to fame when YouTube videos of his insane scooter stunts started to go viral. At just 9 years old, he was pulling off expert tricks and a front flip live on Britain's Got Talent. While he didn't win the talent contest, he did land a sponsorship deal with Mad Gear Action Sports, so he can keep doing what he loves. And good thing for that, because his videos today seem to gain the respect of everyone who's lucky enough to see them. This next kid has taken the basketball world by storm, and he's not even in middle school yet. 10-year-old Peyton Kemp is still in the 5th grade, but his skills as a point guard have sparked interest from as far as the NBA. Modeling his style of play after Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, Peyton trains 4 days a week with 2 games every weekend. If you're hoping to see Peyton in the NBA, you might be waiting a while. The tiny baller isn't due to graduate till 2026. This kid makes Tony Hawk look old. Actually, to be fair, Tony Hawk makes Tony Tony Hawk look old. Jokes aside, this teenage skating prodigy makes it look like you're playing Pro Skater 2 on easy. 16-year-old Roman Hager was actually a champion skimboarder in his home state of Florida before trading in the waves for the concrete of a skate park. While he might not land every trick, the ones he does have all the sponsors lined up to have him wear their brands. From flipping on ropes to shredding on the ice, 12-year-old Roman Marcotte really has his eyes set on the NHL. Ever since the age of 2, Roman has lived on the ice, training hard with his father and becoming one of the best in his age division. He's so good, in fact, that he was placed on a team with boys much older than him, and even with that seeming disadvantage, he's constantly the MVP of every game. His dreams of the NHL are probably closer than he thinks. If there's a board involved, this girl will absolutely dominate. Meet Sky Brown. Not only is she a skilled surfer and pro skater, but at just 13 years old, Sky became the youngest ever Olympic medalist when she took home bronze in park skating in 2020. On the ramp, no one comes close to Sky. Her brand of energetic tricks have prompted legends like Tony Hawk to call her one of the most promising park skaters on the planet. This was before she took the 2021 X Games gold medal for women's park skating. Life's good for the half-Japanese, half-British superstar, especially when you're #1 before your 15th birthday. This next super kid is something we like to call a triple threat. 13-year-old Javon Walton is trying to be the best in 3 different careers, all at the same time. When he was just 11, Javon became the only kid to hold Georgia State championship titles in both boxing and gymnastics.
Why be 1 champ when I want to be 2?
Another kid who's making her mark on the world of street sports is rollerblading prodigy Sofia Bogdanova. The 16-year-old Russian looks like a figure skater on concrete, fast and graceful, and there's a reason for that. From the age of 4, Sofia's parents enrolled her in ice skating classes, but by 7 years old, the tiny skater had transitioned from blades to wheels. With a long list of awards, trophies, and accolades, Sofia is also a 6-time world and 9-time European champion slalom skater. There are some names that carry a weight of expectation. Imagine being named Clark Kent and everyone not expecting you to grow up into a literal Superman. The 10-year-old swimmer shocked officials by breaking Olympic medalist Michael Phelps' 23-year record for the 100-meter butterfly. While fast swimming wasn't one of Superman's known powers, if he starts shooting lasers out of his eyes, we might be in trouble. When I say freestyle, most people think Speedos, shaved legs, and Olympic swimming pools. But in the world of football, freestyle is an athletic expression of art. 15-year-old Nick Seda is the 2021 routine world champion of freestyle football, a title won against competitors 10 or 20 years older than him. His mixture of fluid movements, expert balance, and impossible maneuvers are hypnotic to watch. I wonder if he's actually any good at football. Sometimes when a celebrity's child follows in their famous parents' footsteps, you wonder if they're actually talented or if they're just cashing in on the family name. Luckily, in the case of Tiger Woods' son Charlie, he's got the skills to pay the bills. I guess it does help having a world champion golfer as your father, as the pair have been getting a lot of practice in lately. It shows as well. Their mannerisms and techniques are almost identical, showing he isn't just an Instagram athlete. Charlie and Tiger recently competed against John Daly and his son in a father-son classic. Despite his small size, Charlie insists that he's not playing mini golf.